Once upon a time, in the land of touchscreen keyboards, autocorrect reigned supreme. Ah, the mighty autocorrect, a tool designed to be our virtual savior, our typographical knight in shining armor, rescuing us from the perils of misspelled words and grammatical bloopers. But let's be honest, it often feels like autocorrect is the mischievous imp in our pocket, always ready to trip us up at the most inopportune moments. Consider the tale of poor old Reginald, a serious chap, always punctual, always precise, but not particularly tech-savvy. One day, Reginald decided to text his boss a message of utmost importance. It was a simple, unassuming message. "Dear sir, I'm sick and won't be able to attend the meeting today." Reginald, with his shaky hands and questionable eyesight, fumbled on the tiny touchscreen keyboard. Autocorrect, ever so eager to assist, jumped into action. The result? A text that read, "Dear Shirt, I am slick and won't be able to attack the meatloaf today." Yes, you heard it right, dear listeners. Reginald, the epitome of professionalism, had just informed his boss that he was too slick to attack a meatloaf. The boss, utterly baffled, could only reply with a simple, "What?" The irony is palpable, isn't it? Autocorrect, our supposed ally, creating more confusion than clarity. It's like a chef who's supposed to cook you a meal but ends up setting your kitchen on fire. Or a lifeguard who's supposed to save you from drowning but throws you a rock instead of a lifebuoy. Reginald's story serves as a cautionary tale for us all. The tool that was meant to help us communicate better often makes us look like we're speaking an entirely different language. It's the digital age's version of the classic comedy of errors, a technological twist to our age-old human follies. And that, dear listeners, is how a slip of the finger can alter your career trajectory. In the era of GPS, who needs a sense of direction, right? Well, let me tell you about a chap who thought the same. His name was Bob, a man who would rather trust a machine than his own instincts. One fine day, Bob decided to drive to the local store. He was off to buy milk, or so he thought. You see, Bob was a firm believer in the power of technology. He trusted his GPS like a faithful hound, believing it would lead him to his destination with unerring accuracy. Bob hopped into his car and inputted the store's location into his GPS. Off he went, following the robotic voice that echoed from his car's speakers. Now, the GPS, being a bit of a trickster, decided to take Bob on a scenic route. Or perhaps it was just a glitch in the system. Who knows? The voice, smooth as silk, guided Bob. In 200 yards, turn left. Bob, the obedient follower, complied. Little did he know the left turn was not towards the local store, but a lovely little lake. As the car splashed into the water, Bob sat there utterly gobsmacked. His trusty GPS had led him not to the dairy aisle, but into a watery predicament. He could only watch in disbelief as his car started to resemble a sinking ship. In retrospect, Bob could have used a bit of common sense. But who has time for that when you've got technology, right? The irony was not lost on Bob. Here he was, in the middle of a lake, thanks to his over-reliance on a piece of tech that was supposed to make his life easier. So let this be a lesson to all of us. Technology is great, but it's not infallible. It's a tool, not a replacement for our brains. Always remember to look up from your screens once in a while. You never know, you might just spot a lake before your GPS guides you into it. So the next time your GPS tells you to turn left, make sure it's not into a body of water. Ah, the selfie stick. The modern magic wand that turns any moment into a photo op. But sometimes it creates moments you'd rather forget. Let's saunter down memory lane, shall we, to a tale that might just make you reconsider your next snapshot. Picture this. A bright-eyed tourist, let's call him Bob, armed with nothing but his trusty selfie stick, is on a quest for that perfect Instagrammable moment. His backdrop? An exquisite museum, housing treasures from centuries past. A priceless statue stands tall, its majesty captivating Bob's attention. He thinks, what a splendid companion for my next selfie. Excitement bubbling, Bob positions himself, extends his selfie stick and angles it just right to capture himself and the statue in one frame. But alas, in his fervour, Bob miscalculates the distance and the selfie stick collides with the ancient artifact. The room fills with a gasp as the statue teeters, then tumbles, shattering into a million pieces. Oh, the horror! Bob freezes, selfie stick still extended, his face a picture of pure shock. The museum patrons stare, the security guards scramble, and the statue, once a towering symbol of history, now lays in ruins. And what does Bob do amidst this pandemonium? He snaps a quick selfie with the wreckage, of course, because if it isn't on Instagram, did it even happen? The irony of it all, our relentless pursuit to capture every second of our lives, sometimes results in moments we'd rather erase. The aftermath, you ask? Bob found himself facing a hefty fine, a lifetime ban from the museum, and a mortifying viral video that immortalized his blunder. His perfect selfie turned into a perfect storm. A costly reminder of how our digital obsessions can lead to real-world chaos. So the next time you whip out your selfie stick, remember Bob, remember the statue. Remember, folks, no selfie is worth a priceless piece of history or a hefty fine. And that, my friends, is a snapshot of the selfie stick saga. Online shopping, a paradise where you can buy anything with a click. But sometimes what you click isn't what you get. Let me tell you a tale as old as, well, as old as online shopping. It's the story of a man. Let's call him Bob. Now, Bob was a simple man with a simple desire: to own a comfortable chair to lounge in after his grueling 9-to-5 job. He fancied himself a modern man. So instead of going to a furniture store, he decided to partake in the digital dance of online shopping. So Bob starts his search. He sifts through countless listings, he battles pop-up ads, he braves the storm of customer reviews until finally he finds it. The perfect chair. It has plush cushions, ergonomic design, and the colour, oh the colour, a rich mahogany that screamed class. He looks at the price and it's a steal. Eagerly he clicks buy now and waits for his dream chair to arrive. Days later there's a knock at the door. Bob rushes to receive his long-awaited comfort throne. But as he takes the package he frowns. It's rather light and small for a chair. But Bob, ever the optimist, thinks maybe it's a DIY project, a flat pack situation. So he opens the box and, lo and behold, it's a chair. A beautiful plush mahogany chair, fit for a doll's house. Bob sits there, stunned, holding his mini chair, his dreams of comfortable lounging crushed into the size of a teacup. It turns out Bob missed one crucial detail. The dimensions? Yes, folks, Bob ordered a chair all right, but it was a doll-sized chair, a minor detail that our dear Bob overlooked in his haste to find comfort. And that, my friends, is the comedic tragedy of online shopping. A world where a click can bring you joy, or in Bob's case, a teeny-tiny chair. A world where you can be a king one moment and a dollhouse furniture owner the next. So, the next time you order online, remember to check the dimensions, unless of course you want a doll-sized surprise. In this digital age, we've become puppets in the hands of our own creations. A statement that rings true with every misguided autocorrect, leading to the unfortunate incident of asking your boss for a quick kiss instead of a quick disc. Oh, the horror. And yet we laugh, because what else can one do when faced with such a digital debacle? Then there's the tale of the GPS misadventure. Remember how we trusted a robotic voice to guide us home, only to end up at a dead end in the middle of nowhere? It's like playing a game of Marco Polo with a device that has the sense of direction of a headless chicken. The punchline? We still keep using it. And who can forget the saga of the selfie stick, that towering rod of vanity turning us into accidental Don Quixotes, jousting with lampposts and fellow pedestrians? The irony is we're more likely to remember the black eye from the selfie stick collision than the actual selfie we took. Now, let's recall the online shopping mishap. The anticipation of receiving a new item, only to find out that the extra large shirt you ordered would barely fit a toddler. Or that the life-size inflatable unicorn is in fact only 2 feet tall. The disappointment is palpable, yet the hilarity of the situation is undeniable. So you see, our reliance on gadgets and gizmos, our blind faith in the binary world, has led to a comedy of errors, a farce for the digital age. The absurdity of it all is more tickling than a feather in a tickle fight. But isn't it wonderful? It's like we're all part of this grand cosmic joke, where technology is both the comedian and the punchline. So, as we march towards a future full of tech, let's not forget to laugh at the absurdities that come with it. After all, what's life without a bit of humour, right?